Hey, welcome back. It's BrainDeadStudios. This is not a podcast, but this is more of a video that's going to be talking about that announcement of the cast for Avengers Doomsday. We figured instead of doing a news radio episode where I pretty much talk mostly about just this and then everything else would be ridiculous or it would go over by like a whole hour because I could talk for days about this stuff. We figured we'd just make a whole episode. So this episode is going to be called Chairs with a question mark. Dot dot dot. Chairs? Question mark? Huh? Tony? Right? Anywho, well, Marvel did an announcement and it was kind of garbage. Not gonna lie, that was kind of cringe. I can't believe that certain people actually watched it. I knew they were going to announce something. I didn't know that they were going to have an entire broadcast dedicated to just that. That was kind of not exactly worth it. I would have been pretty pissed if I'd waited 5 hours for all of that. That's ridiculous. Anywho, so we got here the full cast list. We're gonna go through them first. We're gonna give our theories. And I'm just pretty much going to detail what I'm going to be talking about it. And feel free to leave some comments down below. Let me know if you would like to have a co-host. If you want James back as a co-host, we could definitely make that happen. But then we'd have to change the recordings format. And I don't really know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it. Anyways, we'll probably edit that out. Or not. You know what? We're not going to edit that out because I don't give a shit. All right? Anyways. So, Chris, we're going to go in order here. Chris Hemsworth as Thor Odinson. He's back. Nobody's surprised by that. That's pretty much a given that Thor was going to return. I'm also checking to see the audio recording here to see if this voice is a little bit better during this session because we've had comments about voice and audio being a little bit changed. So we're playing with it. The P's are popping. Anyhow. Chris Hemsworth as Thor Odinson. Yeah, that was a given. We all kind of saw that one coming. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm / Invisible Woman. She's back as well, fresh off of the Fantastic Four. Now, I'm very excited to see that film, so we'll see. Hopefully, it does extremely well. And then we're excited to see the Fantastic Four. They're all on here, but we will be going in order of chairs here. We got Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, a.k.a. the new Captain America or Captain African America, depending on who you ask. I don't mind him as Captain America, but that film, I get it. Take it or leave it, but I enjoyed it. We got Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes. Now, before we get into some spoiler territory, keep in mind the Thunderbolts is just around the corner when it comes out in May, beginning of May, I believe. At the time of this recording, which took place in end of March, we're not supposed to know about what goes down in the Thunderbolts, but due to this casting letting us know that they're there, maybe we got ourselves a bit of a spoiler. So we'll get into that when we discuss this more. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going on with the names here. We got Letitia Wright as Shuri, Black Panther, the new Black Panther, Shuri. I don't know if I pronounced her name right. I apologize if I butcher some of these people's names. Like, Letitia! Where you at, Letitia? What you doing? Use Black Panther! We're banned for racism. Next character is the first and only chair that went down and made a little mini chair, which I thought was kind of cute for this thing. It was Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, a.k.a. the Ant-Man. We got Wyatt Russell as John Walker, a.k.a. the U.S. agent. Fall behind that is this is where I butcher names, people. Tenochi Hirata as Namor, wherever you're coming from. I didn't hate him in the Black Panther Part 2 or Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. I didn't really care for that movie. It's a bit of a snooze in my opinion. I feel like it kind of went nowhere, but I didn't hate Namor. I liked him. I especially like the wing flying bit thing. It felt very, if you ever played the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, it felt very reminiscent of that, so that was pretty cool. Eobon Moss Beckerach as Ben Grimm the Thing. I'm excited to see him as the character as well in the Fantastic Four. again, I can't gush enough about Fantastic Four. I won't get anywhere if I keep talking about Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Glad to see him coming back. Florence Pugh as Elena Beloff, the new Black Widow, essentially. I don't know. She hasn't won me over as of late. Hopefully the Thunderbolts changes that. We got Kelsey Grammer. Here's where we start to get into some new characters. Most of these people that were announced were like, yeah, no duh, right? These are like, okay, yeah, I expect some of these people to show up for the new Avengers, essentially. You know full well that certain characters are going to show up. There's definitely some missing. We'll get into that in a bit. But now we're starting to get into some interesting territory here. Kelsey Grammer's returning as Hank McCoy, a.k.a. The Beast. X-Men fame and X-Men, the original trilogy, specifically Last Stand, where he was mostly present in that film. I loved his Beast. I think it was really, really good. We'll see what happens now. He has technically been in the MCU before as a credit towards the very end, as an end credit scene for the Marvels, I believe. Not much came out of that, but it was still pretty, it was pretty cool. It was to see him back. So he's back. Lewis Pullman as Bob Reynolds, a.k.a. the Sentry, or the Void, depending on who you ask. Now, this is a good one because the Sentry is not supposed to. We're not supposed to know that the Sentry exists. Blah blah blah. Again, another Thunderbolts. A bit of a spoiler for Thunderbolts before it comes out that he's going to be the main villain or like thing they have to deal with essentially. Let's see here. We got Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres, a.k.a. the Falcon. The new Falcon, the one that replaced, what's his name? He's his friend. He was in the Captain America film. I don't hate him, but I know a lot of people don't care for him as an actor. I kind of, like, tolerate him at best, if I'm being honest. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm as Human Torch. Yeah, I mean, more Fantastic Four. Again, I can't say anything until they're out. I hope they're great, and I'm excited to see what they do. David Harbour is Alexia, the Red Guardian. He's been great as the Red Guardian. I've enjoyed his voice as the thing. I know he's really goofy and he's used as comedic relief, but I've enjoyed him so far. Winston Duke as M'Baku from Black Panther 1 and 2. M'Baku is technically man-ape, but they just don't want to call him that because they think it's racism. Racism. Hannah John came in as Ava Starr, a.k.a. The Ghost. Now, if you've noticed this, we've pretty much announced every single member of the Thunderbolts except for Taskmaster. And Taskmaster, a little spoiler here, does not show up on this cast call here, if you will. And that pretty much is a testament to what might happen in the Thunderbolts. If you've been watching the trailers, if you've been watching other YouTubers and stuff like that, you're pretty much in the know now. I mean, it's it's pretty obvious what might happen to the Taskmaster the female Taskmaster. We got Tom Hiddleston as Loki. We got Patrick Stewart. Here's where we start to get a little bit. Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, Professor X himself. Excited to see him come back. He hasn't been in these things since that botched dog shit Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I fucking hated what they did to his character. So hopefully this is a nice redemption bit, but he ain't the only X-Men because we're about to get into some crazy X-Men here. Ian McKellen as Eric, a.k.a. Magneto. So we got the old Magneto back. He's back in action. I'm super excited to see Professor X and Magneto again. Alan Cumming as Kurt Wagner, a.k.a. Nightcrawler's back. Nightcrawler from X2 and Last Stand, essentially. He was so damn good as Nightcrawler. And every time I think of Nightcrawler, I always think of Alan Cumming's version of Nightcrawler. So this is exciting stuff to see him. A very strange choice, too. Out of all X-Men, I would never thought they would put Nightcrawler back in the mix. But there we have it. It's great. Rebecca Romijn as Raven, a.k.a. Mystique. The better Mystique. She's great. Every time I think of Mystique, I always think of her. Very sexy, very cool. James Marsden as Scott Summers, Cyclops. That's awesome. That's so cool. We're looking forward to seeing him. He's been saying a lot during the Sonic press conference for Sonic 3 that he has nothing to do with the new Marvel and MCU and all that. He's lying through his teeth. He definitely knows. He knew about this ahead of time. And here are the big twos. Here's the most surprising one of all of them. Channing Tatum as Remy LeBeau, a.k.a. Gambit, making a return from Deadpool and Wolverine. That is exciting stuff and just so cool to see Channing Tatum coming back as Gambit. He was definitely my favorite aspect of Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm just excited that he's finally getting to play the character, and he's going to be moving forward, playing this character a whole lot more moving forward. That's crazy. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic. And finally, we have Dr. Doom, the big villain himself, by Robert Downey Jr. No surprise, everybody already knows this. The quick question, though, is maybe, just maybe, he might be playing Tony Stark again. We don't know. It's anyone's guess at this point. Now, that's a big roster. That's a big cast announcement. Lots of faces, lots of names, lots of X-Men characters, lots of newer characters that have gotten them a chance in the limelight, essentially. But here's the thing, is that I think the more important thing about this entirety of this roster / cast announcement is that it's kind of a telling as to what direction could they go with when it comes to Doomsday. But more importantly, some of the characters that are just flat out missing. Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch is completely not here. We don't have Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. Hawkeye's been a part of most Avengers flicks from start to finish outside of Infinity War, but, he was off doing his own stuff. And no Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. That's weird. We got no Hulk action in the new Doomsday. Again, this is all subject to change, and they said this isn't the finalized version of the script, and this isn't going to be all set in stone. So expect to see cameos, expect to see other characters, expect to see something of for these characters. But and then the number one thing, and this is going to get everyone's going to be pissed that I didn't say it first, but the number one is that there's no Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So we got no Spider-Man, we got no Toby, we got no Andrew, we got none of it. So there are no Spider-Man in this flick as of now. I think, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I think that's going to be subject to change. Again, also, no Young Avengers whatsoever, which, take it or leave it, most of these characters have not been all that interesting for the vast majority of audience and moviegoers as of late. Especially, Haley Steinfeld, love her or hate her, if you like her, I know a lot of people really, really like her. I like her too, but I understand that as a character, most people don't really give a shit about Kate Bishop, especially after just, being in, the Hawkeye TV show that nobody watched. So there's that. You also got Ironheart is, that's going to come out later on this summer to middling reviews. That's going to be dog shit. We got a lot of other Young Avengers that are just not there. Miss Marvel, no Captain Marvel, no Monica Rambeau, none of that. So it's almost as if they don't really want to, put these characters in there. Which is kind of funny because we've been meandering around these last couple phases with no, sense of direction, and now we're just like, boop, we're here. We're here for Doomsday. We got to build somewhere. So hopefully it goes well. I enjoy that. It's also kind of sad that no other members of the Ant-Man crew will be here. No Casey, no Wasp, no Michael Douglas as original Hank Pym, no Janet. None of it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's sad to also. Interestingly enough, no Star-Lord, no Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, no other Guardians seem to be present at all. You think they'd want to capitalize that, especially with that end credit scene. The more and more I think on it, the more and more I realize there's quite a lot of people that aren't here, but maybe. Now I got two theories running around. First and foremost, I think this might be the B team, if you will, or like A team or Alpha or whatever, and something's gonna happen. I think they got to have some sort of thing where these people are there. Also, no Chris Evans, even though Chris Evans is apparently signed on for something in the MCU. We don't know what it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be Captain Hydra. We'll see what happens. but there's a lot of direction as to where this can go. There's a ton of characters missing. There's a ton of storylines that they can go with. There's a ton of different avenues that they can choose. I think time will tell when we go to see the roster, but also having a focus on two separate teams like the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four is showing teams coming together, because this seems like a very teams coming together kind of movie. You got the X-Men, you've got the Fantastic Four, you've got the Thunderbolts, and you essentially have Team Cap and Team, I don't know, Black Panther, I guess, right? You got the people from Black Panther, you got Namor and Shuri, and then of course M'Baku. So it's very team-centric movie where multiple teams are kind of coming together to try and take out Doom. And I suspect that it's going to be one of those things where I think these people either lose or something happens where these people are kind of stranded, and it's up to, the other people that aren't present in this game, the loners essentially, having to come together and work as one. So that also kind of, but I think my theory is kind of out the window as well, with the fact that there are no Guardians in this, because to cap off the theory of teams working together and doing separate missions, but all coming together in one, especially with the Fantastic Four being in like an entire different reality, not part of Earth 616, it's definitely one of those situations where we're like, okay, well, now what? So I definitely have some theories. I don't want to, I want to talk more about this at a later date, but I figured that we would go through the entire roster, talk about who is and isn't present, and more importantly, just kind of geek out a bit and as I gush and talk stupid about over stupid shit, really. But if you're excited for Avengers Doomsday, if you're excited with the roster as of now, or you would like to see somebody else, or you have your theories, or you're upset that LeBron James didn't show up in there, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, I mean, this video is almost 20 minutes long, and that would have taken up practically the entire episode of News Radio had we chosen to cover it. So I think that this was a pretty good choice. I know I've been saying a lot. I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on sound quality. I know this one's going to be all over the place, but you know what? We're working on it. We're a team. We're slow. We're getting stuff together. We're figuring it out as we go. And you know what? As an audience, I'm just excited that you guys are listening and hopefully interacting more with this here video and future videos. But if you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't like what you hear, I appreciate you listening this far. You must hate me very much, or you've been beaten off, in which case, grab some lotion, buddy. Good boy. Or girl. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, do the usual YouTube jargon, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.